Resentment is a big issue for a lot of people. When, once I had my conversion, I met with all that tragedy, right? I had my conversion and, I found God. But just because I found God doesn't mean I had arrived. I had a ton of healing still to do, right? And a big part of that healing was taking care of or resolving the wounds and the tragedies that had taken place in my life, many of which created resentments. So to be honest with you, I had a lot of hate in me. I had a lot of dislike and distrust and all of those things. And I don't know if you've ever heard the expression, but I not only heard it, but was practicing it for quite some time. And that is resenting another is like taking poison and waiting for the other person to die, right? And the fact of the matter is that the person that you resent probably doesn't even completely understand what's transpired that got you so mad at him or her, right? And even if they understand at some level, they certainly don't understand to the extent that you're living through the pain. So it's not as meaningful to them as it is to you, right? So you're taking this poison, right? And it's chewing you up and you're thinking about it day and night and it's consuming your life and you're waiting for something to happen to them. It doesn't work that way, right? So we need to work through our resentments, and part of working through them is really understanding the ownership or partial ownership that we have in them. When it comes to abuses like sexual abuse or physical abuse or emotional abuse, there's no excuse for any of those. I'm certainly not condoning them. You need to remove those people from your life, right? But most things that aren't that, it takes two to tango, right? So it's typically not one-sided. And a part for me in overcoming those resentments was understanding my role in what was going on. And probably not a big surprise to you knowing what my passion is, but all of that comes back to relating or being related to this idea of self-love. Like I couldn't come to that place in understanding what my role was until I understood God's unconditional love and God's unconditional forgiveness and started to love myself in a healthy way. And then I could come to grips with, well, yeah, I was party to that and I was responsible for a part of that. And I need to take ownership of it to be able to forgive. And understand, forgiveness is not condoning, right? You're not saying that the person is right in what he did, but forgiving is in your heart forgiving the person. I know it's not a good thing to use the word that you're using to define, whatever. But it's not condoning what he's doing. It's not saying that it's a good thing, but we need to forgive if we're going to be able to overcome and move on in our life. And God forgives all unconditionally. He forgives us and he forgives others, right? And Jesus Christ forgives all and did so by example in dying on the cross. So if we don't forgive ourselves, if we don't forgive others, what we're really saying is that his death was for naught, right? And we know as part of our faith that that's not the case. So forgiveness is a huge thing. Getting those resentments out of your life is absolutely freeing.